All right, people. My Father wants me to speak to you from Hebrews 2. How do I know anything that I know? You don't know me. You never knew me. Even those of you who grew up with me still don't know me. You never knew me as a person. You just think that you do. You think you know my family, and therefore you think you know me. My family didn't even know me. My family, many of them were afraid of me because as my gifts were kicking in and I could see stuff, they got nervous about what I could see. Even when it came to Leonard Jr. getting in trouble with the law, and they tried to hide the fact that I saw exactly what I saw, which had to do with a drug deal go wrong. Federal authorities and much less. He did serve some time, about a year. His brother talked about it on Facebook. He put it out there that what I said was accurate. Even as he lied to his mama and said, "Oh no, Uncle Carlos ain't seeing that right." That's got some shit to do with Modesto. No, it had to do with him. I had a vision when I was on that Alaskan cruise, sailing toward Alaska. And I told my brother about what I saw. Even as he had asked me if I could see in the cards, was his son in trouble? And yes, I did see him in trouble. I said he had an element around him that was wrong. But he ain't gonna listen to you because he got something to prove to you. But what he is gonna do is listen to his mama. But then he lied to his mama. That's why that nigga went to jail. My nephew. Yeah, his family. He's not on my friends list anymore. They said you left your family. No, my family left me a long time ago. Give credit where credit is due. Understand what you did and what you did not do. Now let's talk about Hebrews 2. Like I said, I'm reading from this Gideon Bible, but I'm going to post it from the New International Version. We must therefore pay the more careful attention to what we have heard, so that we may not let ourselves drift from it. For if the message that was spoken through angels was held true, in every transgression and disobedience received its just retribution, how shall we escape if we neglect so great a salvation? Now long before there was a Christ, even as there were prophets of old, angels were delivering messages amongst mankind. Angels came to survey Sodom and Gomorrah and told Lot to take his wife, not look back and leave, but his wife, hard-headed and opinionated as many a woman is, wanted to see the destruction of that which she loathed and became a part of it. She was returned to the earth as salt. Pay attention, people, and maybe you'll understand how to interpret Scripture and not play games with spirits that you know nothing about. It was first spoken by the Lord. It was confirmed to us by those who heard him. Then it was corroborated by God with signs and wonders and a great variety of miraculous powers and gifts of the Holy Spirit distributed according to his will. Now, many of you have gifts. I have them too. But how do you utilize your gifts? And for who do you work? You can sit there and say you work for the divine, but angels are divine too, in nature, even those who are fallen. And as you are being led astray to utilize your gifts in such a despicable way, then all you're doing is playing into their hands of destruction. For the devil himself said, I will be God on earth. And you don't know the difference. You only know that they give you what you ask for as if they are lapdogs. Unconditional loving of everything that you do as you turned a blind eye and a deaf ear to everything else that's going on in the world because you're doing work you must do and you're compensated for it, for your time. You are not good people. You're despicable and poor students. In terms of the word, you turned away from religion saying that it was a joke. Did the angels teach you that? Or was it just your own heart when people turned against you? Why are you so misunderstood, and at the same time, why the hell do you give a fuck about what somebody thinks about you if it's not true? Why do you have to unfriend people? Why do you have to run? Why do you have to speak in your various camps? But you only can persuade or converse with those who feel just like you. Because you can't get it together to interact with those who are not, because they don't see you the same and they don't have to. See, a world of peaceful coexistence is one where you stay out of their business and they stay out of yours. But you don't know how to do that. All you know how to do is judge. Judge and judge and judge. Judge not lest ye be judged. And you say, I have no right to judge you. Oh, bitch, please, you have judged me. You have judged my people. You have reduced us to the scourge of the universe, as if you didn't occupy that seat first. There is no seat for us at your table, and we don't want to sit with you anyway, much less break bread. Which is another way of saying we don't share yours in knowledge. We despise you, and we have every right to. We turn our backs on you, which we have our right to. But if we do so, if we don't keep one eye open, well then we're subject to be stabbed in the back by you as you sit there and say you are so full of love and light, and you are an abomination of that very same devil that has no problem with bringing death and destruction amongst mankind and his mate, that does not align with your co-creative consciousness and belief. Demonize much. Do you see not how you have become that which is despicable? Because you are entitled to your feelings, all that good work you have done to feel better about yourself, as if you still have a cause to stand on. I have a condition that makes me stink. You should understand that. I have an allergy to certain foodstuffs. You should understand that. I have an aversion to the fact that you like to eat meat. You should understand that. All I hear is what you have. And what I don't hear is you saying the same. I understand where you're coming from, and I'm going to leave you alone and let you live your life as you will allow me to live my own. If you're not playing the game of retribution and payback, understand it now. That's all you playing. Pay attention, and you might learn. For he did not subject the future world of which we are talking under the control of angels, but someone has somewhere testified. What is man that thou art mindful of him, or a son of man that thou lookest after him? For a little while thou hast ranked him lower than the angels. Are you paying attention? With glory and honor hast thou crowned him, all things hast thou subjected underneath his feet. You glorify yourselves. And the angels still find you despicable and detestable. The ones who are loyal to God will not strike you when those who are fallen are poised to do just that. and dirty work, for they blame you for their fate and a war in heaven, a disagreement of thoughts, if you will. You know, you should be able to understand that because you can't get your own damn thoughts under control, and you sit there and say, why did God just do away with such things? Let me ask you this. Why don't you just do away with certain thoughts that you have in your wayward thinking? Why are you sitting there worried about if you are beautiful enough, thin enough, or fitting in enough? Why? And then why, when you finally snap, do you take out that which actually pissed you off before you take out yourself? If you find yourself so offensive, then you should deal with yourself, should you not? My father's already dealt with himself in terms of his own thoughts, which were angelic in nature. He says, I have put this out of me. They are not my core values. But you seem to have a problem with what core values are. Even as you are sitting there at tables in committee, going over all manner of bullshit. Your bullshit. As if I should give a damn about what you're talking about. Listen and learn, people. In thus subjecting all things to him, nothing is left out that is not subjected. But at present, we do not yet see all things subjected to him, but what we see Jesus rank lower than the angels for a little while, crowned with the glory and honor because of the sufferings of death, in order that by divine grace he might taste death for everyone. Did I not tell you how I dreamt how I died numerous times over and over again at your hand? By the blade, the gun, bludgeoning, hanging, rape, mutilation. Do you think I did not experience all these things? As I tried to warn you what you were messing with, and you needed to leave that shit alone, but you couldn't stop because you were being compensated, because you were bringing healing to the world. You detestable pieces of shit. Pay attention. Learn. For it befitted him, for whom and through whom the universe exists, and bringing many sons to glory, to perfect. Pay attention. To perfect. The leader of their salvation by means of suffering. For the one who makes holy and those who are being made holy all have one Father, for which reason he is not ashamed to call them brothers. I was not ashamed to call you my brother or my sister. You were family to me. When he says, I shall proclaim thy name to be my brother, in the midst of the congregation I shall sing thy praise, and again I shall put my trust in him, and once more, here I am, and the children God has given me. Since then the children share flesh and blood, because you did partake of it in my name. Holy Communion and more. Baptismal and more. You were reborn as one. And now you turn a blind eye and a deaf ear because you say you cannot stomach the truth of what your own hand has brought against your siblings. But at the same time, you want to say it wasn't me. Then who was it if it wasn't you? How are you going to point a finger at that which you try to divorce yourself from when there is no divorce decree levied by God? That's a man-made shit. What God has joined together, no man puts asunder. Pay attention and learn. I shall proclaim thy name to my brothers. In the midst of the congregation I shall sing thy praise, and again I shall put my trust in him. And once more, here I am, here am I, and the children of God has given me. The children God has given me. Since then, the children share flesh and blood. He himself shared these things with them, so that by means of his death he might destroy the one who wields the power of death, namely the devil. Who do you subscribe to? Who tells you that you go out there and dismember yourself? Parts of your body, parts of that which you say belong to you. Oh, you say, but they Muslim. I'm Christian. They're Jewish. First off, Christ came out of the Jews. The tenets of Christianity extend beyond just mere Christianity. It's based in Jewish lore and actually extends to the Muslim and the Hindi and more. These are lands that Christ did visit and you know nothing about. Oh, okay. I have to get back to him. Here I am, and the children God has given me. Since then the children share flesh and blood. He himself shared these things with them, so that by means of his death he might destroy the one who wields the power of death, namely the devil, and set free those who throughout life were held in slavery by fear of death. For it is surely not to the angels that he reaches out to help, but to the offspring of Abraham. So he had to be made like his brothers in every respect in order to become a merciful and faithful high priest in things related to God. I know who I am, people. For the atonement of the people's sins, for because he himself suffered in being tempted, he is able to bring aid to those who are tempted. What aid do you bring as you now go it along? As you now channel spirits and more? What aid do you bring as you profit and make a business model out of spirituality? What aid do you bring as you sit there and you tell people what their shit is all about? But your shit don't stink to high heaven. What aid do you bring as you sit there and say you don't understand any of that Bible scripture, but at the same time you have a right to reduce it into ruinous rubble, heinous rubble, because you, as members of the church, never picked up the book to read it for yourself. You listened to somebody in a goddamn pulpit who took advantage of you. I gave you an earlier message about the money changers and the church. And you're doing the same thing. As you are spiritual advisors and more, you are basically just exchanging time and services for money. And at the same time, you say, I'm not living that well. Oh, you're living well enough. You ain't living on the streets. You're snake oil salesmen. You're liars, you're thieves, you're cheats. You have condemned an entire way of life because of the laws that they failed to enforce, that you didn't subscribe to either. As members of the congregation, you should have been enforcing the law, not breaking away from it to go it alone. You have no laws. You are lawless. I can see that. Anybody with half a brain can see that. What you say in one breath and you do in another action are two different things. You're full of shit. That's Hebrews 2. I suggest you read it, and read it again. And before you sit there and part your lips again to say that Jesus sanctions your shit, Lisa Beachy, hell the fucking no. In fact, Any of you who call yourself spiritual, who have the nerve, the audacity to part your lips, flap your gums, and talk about Christ, supports you. Hell and damnation is your only reward, because I'm going to tell you right here and now, for all that you say you know, including about the fact that reincarnation is real, that means my Father can bring me back and I can speak for myself, and you do not speak for me. You're speaking for yourself. You're trying to lie on me, and I'm not going to have it. I will see you burn first, and I don't have to go to hell to watch it happen. I can look at it from afar because I appear across all timelines. So do you think my gifts are so insufficient that you eclipse mine? I told you you are stupid pieces, trifling pieces of shit, and you are not going to take my people down a pathway that they have worked hard to get out of. You can take all the others. They who own the bubble. I don't have a problem with that, because they made a choice. They didn't walk away from that bullshit either. They tried to play both sides of the coin. You can't. So you think about that, and then you get back to me. But like I said, don't you dare think this is a Q&A session. You better start praying to the Most High, my Father. And He'll decide if He wants to address anything you have to say. Because right now, He ain't in a talking mood, and He is not in a forgiving one. He told me that straight up. He is pissed at you, because you are out there teaching the devil's lies. That goes to you, Colette Baron Reed, you, Lisa Williams, you, Joseph Tittle, you, Michelle White Dove, you, Denise Lynn, you, Vincent, whatever his name is, friend to John Holland. I told you, I know who the fuck you are, and I really don't give a damn what happens to you. Do you hear me? I don't give a damn. You made your choice. My job was like I first taught the disciples, to leave you be, to walk away and let you wallow in your own muck. Capiche?